What I am about to say, I say with no irony at all. Drake and Josh was awesome. And not only that, it somehow still holds up. And I think there's a really obvious reason for this, and it's probably one of the reasons I don't connect with a lot of modern sitcoms. They're missing something that surprisingly Drake and Josh had, but there's an episode that I think best shows off what I've called in the past the Drake and Josh formula or structure. In my opinion, it's the second best episode of Drake and Josh.
Hey, I got it.
He's got it.
Okay.
This isn't Drake and Josh. It's the Amanda Show, which was great, but today is probably most remembered for this. That's Drake Bell and Josh Peck, series regulars on that show, and they were so funny, so naturally talented, that this would become its own thing. They shoot a pilot for Drake and Josh, that's never aired by the way, with a totally different dad, and then soon enough, it would be Nick's most successful live action show ever. And in season 2,
the most
we get
sophisticated
this.
gaming experience ever created by humans, and it's spherical. Spherical!
In the bet, Drake and Josh forget to pick up Megan because Josh is too busy playing video games and Drake can't stop eating every processed thing known to man. So after getting grounded, in comes the bet. Who can go longer without their favorite thing? Josh with video games and Drake with junk food. Which sounds simple, but Drake and Josh was Nickelodeon figuring out something that Disney never really did. Their audience was growing up. They were becoming teenagers, and they didn't want content for everybody. They wanted content for them. Drake and Josh was not a kid's show. In fact, Drake's mouth was usually occupied at least once an episode by someone else's mouth. They were driving, getting jobs. They loved Oprah. So much TV is made for everyone, adults or kids. Those three markets. Drake and Josh was the first show I remember being made well and directly for that in-between teen audience. Yeah, they had part-time jobs, so they could just play video games, hang out with girls, and eat junk food. The bet perfectly distills this foundation of Drake and Josh. It was for teens, starring teens, not 35-year-olds playing teens. This episode is about two teenagers wanting nothing more than what I wanted when I first watched it. But even now, it still works watching it as an adult, because I think of ingredient 2.
I see the problem. Oh, do ya?
Drake and Josh is actually an incredibly well-made show for what it was trying to be. It's structured kind of impressively. It understands sitcom structure and is built like a mirror. As the bet starts, things seem fine. They stay in their characters, and then we get this perfect escalating symmetry. That mirror. Drake is carefree normally. Now we see him losing his mind over some candy, literally getting hives. Josh is normally anxious, careful, the opposite of his brother, then suddenly he's Drake, just not caring about anything. Drake avoids being responsible. As the bet goes on, he's literally collapsing under responsibility. Josh, the rule follower, is setting up a chocolate pool. In this episode, Drake breaks under the pressure of being responsible, while Josh breaks under the pressure of having the freedom to spend his time doing anything but playing video games. Beat, counterbeat, every scene. And this works because Drake Bell and Josh Peck are in a way just Will and Carlton. They're two guys who, upon seeing them, immediately make you think they are opposites of one another. And the show plays that up. Cool guy Drake, socially awkward Josh. But it gets right what a lot of shows didn't. Drake wasn't too cool and Josh wasn't too weird. And so the best Drake and Josh episodes, like The Bet, force their personalities to compromise and essentially become one. As the bet goes on, Drake develops a rash and is too embarrassed to show his face at school, taking away cool guy Drake. And Josh gets the new Gamesphere, and it's spherical, taking away his balanced control.
Spherical!
I've talked about it before, but that's why the show is so good with bottle episodes. Episodes that take place mostly in one location, like Treehouse or Sheep Thrills. Episodes that level the playing field completely and just force Drake and Josh to interact. And this mattered a lot if you were watching the show as it aired, because instead of moralizing about how cool guys and nerdy guys can become friends and they're all the same, it just threw them in chocolate pools and said, they both look like idiots, don't they? It wasn't trying to convince you that everyone's cool if you give them a chance. It was trying to show you that everyone's weird, so who cares? And that brings me right to ingredient 3, and one that does not get talked about enough. Acting.
Doodle-doo, the cow says moo! Doodle-doo, the cow says moo!
And I know that sounds a little crazy, but it is part of why Drake and Josh was and still is awesome. It's not the most important thing, that's next, but it's worth mentioning the acting. The bet is pure sitcom escalation distilled perfectly. And it only works for the same reason the show's best episode, Treehouse, works. Commitment. I don't know what was in the water on these sets, but every actor on this show hard commits to their role, and it makes them so memorable. Crazy Steve? Yeah, that dude was believably crazy. He commits. Megan is believably evil, even then she committed, but it's these two that deserve their flowers. As the bet escalates out of control, Josh has one final plan. He's going to turn their bedroom into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. He's even going to dress like him. Now, the reason stuff like this doesn't work in a lot of other sitcoms, of any kind really, is the actors try to ground these scenarios way too much. Their performances clash with the situations their characters are in. It's not a fair comparison maybe, as it's not a sitcom, it's sketch comedy, but this is the friction you feel watching modern SNL, why it just feels a little off. It's inconsistency in the commitment. Not here. There is no hesitation in these performances. They literally throw themselves into this.
Hug me, brother!
It's spherical in this show's run feels like these guys living these characters, buying into the absurdity completely. The bet makes it believable that these two guys are losing their minds, that they love video games and food so much, they'll do anything. That's awesome. Is it the best acting of all time? No, but it is committed acting. And the show is so much funnier for it. It's actually, I think, the main reason the show is aging so well, because it's not really punchline driven, it's performance driven. Jokes can get old. Performances usually don't. But Drake and Josh got two words right. Two very important words. And it's something I think is actually missing from a lot of modern TV and film. It's that fourth ingredient to this Drake and Josh formula. Wish fulfillment.
Ooh, can't talk, got a limbo.
Drake and Josh kind of has the same spirit of what made the 80s such a fun and amazing decade for film. Wish fulfillment. The bet nails this. Who wants this awesome spherical new game console? Me. Who wants to eat like this? Also me. Who wants to have this bedroom? Really me. Who wants their parents to keep their house stocked like this? You guessed it. These dudes had a couch in their bedroom. That was crazy to me. Who wants to turn their room into a candy shop? Probably most people watching the show. Who wants to swim in chocolate? Yeah, that's how this problem gets solved, with Candyland in video games, as they both give in to the food and the sphere. Drake and Josh was pure wish fulfillment. Everyone wanted an awesome brother to hang out with, or just a friend as good as Josh. Drake had quite literally the most successful dating career of all time. Even Josh had my dream job growing up. Yeah, I didn't dream very big. Where earlier sitcoms were obsessed with creating the perfect family, Drake and Josh was about creating the perfect lives for the people watching it, not for everyone. Interestingly, Fresh Prince kind of understood this too, to an extent. That wish fulfillment foundation is the same approach Nick took with a lot of that teen block. PCA was the ultimate school, for example. And it's the same wish fulfillment missing from a lot of the content you now see tossed onto streaming services and even into movie theaters. It's weird to say that an episode of TV on Nickelodeon about two dudes fighting over candy and video games better understands anything than the current film and television industry, but it kind of did. Because it understood who it was for, its characters, and it was committed, all while knowing exactly what its audience wanted.
Video games teach hand-eye coordination.
So finally, the bet ends where all good Drake and Josh episodes end. No one wins, no one is better than the other. They both give in at the exact same time, they both lose, they're both forced to dye their hair pink. It ends with these two being brothers and finding a way to be best friends, not a statement made or a lesson learned. If you go watch Drake and Josh now, it is aging surprisingly well. It doesn't feel like a relic of that era or even that block of TV. It's also weird how much of it works still. There's a couple strange episodes like the Weekend at Bernie's parody, but it is interesting how much of Drake and Josh is kind of built to last. Those four ingredients are mostly timeless. It gets the core of what a sitcom like it should be so right that I genuinely believe the show would be successful today with a few tweaks. I don't know if that means Drake and Josh is better than I remember, or if what I've been watching lately just isn't that good. But what I do know is to this day, I'm still terrified of Peruvian puff peppers, potato launchers, and I still want a Gamesphere. How's that for media have an impact? I'd still buy a non-existent spherical machine. If that's not good television, then I don't know what is.
Josh likey.
That is it for today's episode. If you enjoyed this one, press the like button down below. I'm also pretty curious, what live action show from this era do you think would still work today? If it's this one or another one, I am pretty curious. Also hit subscribe so you don't miss anything coming to the channel. And the little notification bell, that just makes sure you're actually notified when something comes out. So hit that little bell. And as always, this has been